Lieutenant Gussel, a Haberdash Books English translation. Copyright 2026. A note from the translator. I first encountered Arthur Schnitzler through his masterful novellas, particularly drawn in by the way he could, with such seeming ease, plunge the reader into the innermost thoughts of his characters. It was a revelation, this journey into the unfiltered stream of consciousness, a literary innovation that felt both groundbreaking and intimately familiar. Schnitzler, a Viennese physician turned writer, was a towering figure of fin-de-siècle Austrian literature. His work, often exploring themes of psychology, sexuality, and the societal hypocrisies of his time, made him both celebrated and controversial. He was a contemporary of Freud, and indeed, their mutual admiration for each other's insights into the human psyche is well documented. Schnitzler matters because he peeled back the polite veneer of Viennese society, revealing the anxieties, desires, and moral ambiguities churning beneath. He was a pioneer in psychological realism, offering a window into minds grappling with modernity. For English readers, Lieutenant Gussel has, until now, remained somewhat less accessible than some of his other works, which is a great pity. This novella is not just a gripping psychological drama. It's a profound social commentary delivered with incredible wit and irony. It's a snapshot of a particular time and place, yes, but its exploration of honor, self-deception, and the fragile male ego feels strikingly relevant even today. Schnitzler's innovative use of the interior monologue here is nothing short of brilliant, drawing us so completely into Gussel's world that we feel his every insecurity and bluster. In translating Lieutenant Gussel, my aim was to preserve the brisk, almost breathless pace of Gussel's thoughts, his abrupt shifts in focus, and the distinct cadence of his inner voice. I tried to capture the subtle nuances of his self-importance and his underlying anxieties, allowing his unedited perspective to shine through. The challenge, and indeed the joy, was in finding English equivalents that conveyed both the period charm and the psychological depth without sacrificing the original's immediacy. I invite you now to step into the mind of Lieutenant Gussel. Prepare for a journey that is at turns amusing, unsettling, and remarkably insightful. Samuel Chatwin, Haberdash Books, 2026. Text data author, Arthur Schnitzler illustrator. Illustrator, title, Lieutenant Gussel subtitle. From source, none editor, edition, 11th. Date of creation, date of publication. 1906 publisher, S. Fisher printer. DRUCKR, place of publication. Berlin translator, original title, original subtitle, original source, source, Commons brief description. First published in 1900 in the Christmas supplement of the New Frey Press article in Wikipedia D, Wikidata data object on Wikidata entry in the GND Gemeinsame Normdatei, shared authority file. GND, image, 250px editing status complete done. This text has been proofread twice against the source. The spelling follows the original text. To edit a page, you only need to click on the corresponding page number. Further information can be found here. Help index page Lieutenant Gussel novella by Arthur Schnitzler 11th edition, Berlin 1906 S. Fisher. Publisher all rights reserved, especially the right of translation Lieutenant Gussel. How much longer will this last? I must look at my watch. Probably not proper in such a serious concert. But who sees it anyway? If someone sees it, then he's paying just as little attention as I am, so I don't need to be embarrassed in front of him. Only 9:15? It seems to me I've been sitting in this concert for 3 hours. I'm just not used to it. What is it anyway? I must look at the program. Oh, right, an oratorio. I thought it was a mass. Such things only belong in church. The good thing about church is that you can leave at any moment. If only I had an aisle seat. Well, patience, patience. Even oratorios come to an end. Perhaps it's very beautiful and I'm just not in the mood. How could I get into the mood? When I think that I came here to amuse myself, I should have given the ticket to Benedek. Such things amuse him. He even plays the violin himself. But then Kopsky would have been offended. It was very kind of him, well-intentioned at least. A good fellow, Kopsky, the only one you can rely on. His sister is singing among those up there. At least 100 virgins, all dressed in black. How am I supposed to find her among them? Because she's singing along, Kopsky also got the ticket. Why didn't he go himself? They sing very beautifully, by the way. It's very uplifting, certainly. Bravo, bravo. Yes, let's applaud along. The man next to me is clapping like mad. Does he really like it that much? The girl over there in the box is very pretty. Is she looking at me or the gentleman over there with the blonde, full beard? Ah, a solo. Who is that? Alto. Fraeline Walker, soprano. Fraeline Mikulik. That's probably the soprano. It's been a long time since I've been to the opera. I always enjoy myself at the opera, even if it's boring. The day after tomorrow, I could actually go again to La Traviata. Yes, the day after tomorrow, I might already be a dead corpse. Oh, nonsense, I don't even believe that myself. Just wait, doctor, you'll stop making such remarks. I'll knock your nose off. If only I could get a good look at the girl in the box. I'd like to borrow the opera glasses from the gentleman next to me, but he'll devour me if I disturb him in his devotion. In what area is Kopsky's sister standing? Should I try to recognize her? I've only seen her 2 or 3 times, last time in the officers' casino, Offiziers Casino. Are all 100 of them decent girls? Oh dear. With the participation of the Singing Society Singvarine. Singing Society. Funny. I always imagined something like the Viennese dance singers, that is, I knew it was something different. Fond memories. Back then at the Green Gate, what was her name again? And then she once sent me a postcard from Belgrade. A beautiful region too. Kopsky has it good. He's probably long since at the Tavern Wirtshaus smoking his Virginia. Why does that fellow over there keep staring at me? It seems to me he notices that I'm bored and don't belong here. I'd advise you to make a slightly less impudent face, or else I'll confront you in the foyer later. He's looking away now. That they all fear my gaze so much. You have the most beautiful eyes I've ever seen, Steffi said recently. Oh, Steffi, Steffi, Steffi. Steffi is actually to blame that I'm sitting here and have to listen to lamentations for hours. Ah, this eternal gushing about Steffi is really getting on my nerves. How beautiful this evening could have been. I would very much like to read Steffi's letter. Here it is. But if I take out my wallet, the fellow next to me will devour me. I already know what's in it. She can't come because she has to have supper with him. Ah, that was funny 8 days ago, when she was with him at the Horticultural Society, Gartenbaugesellschaft, and I was opposite with Kopsky, and she kept making signals to me with her eyes, the agreed-upon ones. He noticed nothing, incredible. Must be a Jew, by the way. Of course, he's in a bank and that black mustache. He's supposed to be a reserve lieutenant, too. Well, he shouldn't come to my regiment for military exercises. Anyway, that they still make so many Jews officers, then I scoff at the whole antisemitismus. Recently at the party where the incident with the doctor happened at the Mannheimers. The Mannheimers themselves are supposed to be Jews too, baptized of course. But you can't tell it all with them, especially the wife, so blonde with a beautiful figure. It was very amusing overall. Fabulous food, magnificent cigars. Well, who has the money? Bravo, bravo, will it be over soon now? Yes, now the whole company Gesellschaft up there is standing up. Looks very good, imposing. Organ too. I really like the organ. So, I like that, very beautiful. It's truly true, one should go to concerts more often. It was wonderful, I'll tell Kopsky. Will I meet him in the coffee house today? Ah, I don't feel like going to the coffee house at all. I poisoned myself so much yesterday. Lost 160 gulden in one sitting, too silly. And who won it all? Ballard, precisely him who doesn't need it. Ballard is actually to blame that I had to go to this stupid concert. Well, otherwise, I could have played again today, perhaps won something back. But it's quite good that I gave myself my word of honor not to touch a card for a month. Mama will make a face again when she gets my letter. Ah, she should go to Uncle, he has money like dirt, those few hundred gulden don't matter to him. If only I could persuade him to give me a regular allowance sustentation. But no, for every penny cruiser, you have to beg specifically. Then it's again, last year the harvest was bad. Should I go to Uncle's again this summer for 2 weeks? Actually, you get bored to death there. If I could just remember her name. It's strange, I can't remember any names. Ah, yes, Edelka. She didn't understand a word of German, but that wasn't necessary either. I didn't need to say anything at all. Yes, it will be quite good, 2 weeks of country air and 2 weeks of Edelka or someone else. But I should also be with Papa and Mama again for 8 days. She looked bad this Christmas. Well, now the offense will have been overcome. In her place, I'd be glad that Papa has retired. And Clara will still get a husband. Uncle can certainly provide something. 28 years, that's not so old. Steffi is certainly not younger. But it's strange, women stay young longer. If you think about it, Moretti recently in Madame Sansgarn, she's certainly 37 years old and looks. Well, I wouldn't have said no. Too bad she didn't ask me. It's getting hot. Still not over? Ah, I'm so looking forward to the fresh air. I'll take a little walk over the Ringstrasse in Vienna. Today it's early to bed, fresh tomorrow afternoon. Funny, how little I think about it, it's so indifferent to me. The first time it agitated me a little. Not that I was afraid, but I was nervous the night before. Of course, First Lieutenant Bissance was a serious opponent. And yet, nothing happened to me. That was a year and a half ago. How time flies. And if Bissance didn't do anything to me, the doctor certainly won't. But precisely, these untrained fighters are sometimes the most dangerous. Doskinski told me that a fellow, who held a saber in his hand for the first time, nearly ran him through. And Doskinski is today a fencing instructor for the Asterisk Landwehr Imperial Royal Landwehr, an arm of the Austro-Hungarian army. Of course, whether he knew as much back then, the most important thing is cold blood. I don't even have proper anger in me anymore, and yet it was an impertinence, unbelievable. He certainly wouldn't have dared if he hadn't drunk champagne beforehand, such impudence. Definitely a socialist. All the shysters today are socialists. A gang, they'd most like to abolish the entire military right away. But who would then help them when the Chinese come for them? They don't think about that. Idiots. One must occasionally set an example. I was absolutely right. I'm glad I didn't let him off after that remark. When I think about it, I get completely wild. But I behaved splendidly. The colonel also says it was absolutely correct. This whole business will even benefit me. I know some who would have let the fellow slip through. Mueller for sure, he would have been objective again or something like that. Everyone who tried to be objective has only ever made a fool of themselves. Herr Lieutenant? The very way he said, Herr Lieutenant, was impudent. You will surely have to admit to me. How did we even get onto that? Why did I get into a conversation with that socialist? How did it even begin? It seems the dark-haired woman I escorted to the buffet was also there. And then this young man who paints hunting pictures, what is his name again? By my soul, he was to blame for the whole story. He was talking about the maneuvers, and only then did this doctor join us and say something that I didn't like about war games or something, but where I couldn't yet say anything. Yes, and then there was talk about cadet schools. Yes, that's how it was. And I talked about a patriotic festival, and then the doctor said not immediately, but it developed from the festival. Herr Lieutenant, you will surely have to admit that not all of your comrades joined the military exclusively to defend the fatherland. Such impudence. Such a person dares to say that to an officer's face. If only I could remember what I replied to that. Ah yes, something about people who meddle in things they don't understand. Yes, right. And then there was someone who wanted to settle the matter amicably. An older gentleman with a bad cold, but I was too furious. The doctor said that in such a tone, as if he meant me directly. He would only have had to say that they threw me out of the gymnasium A type of secondary school, preparing students for university, and that's why I was put into cadet